Good morning. All members will please come to the floor. All members, please come to the floor. All members come to the floor and take your seats, please. Mr. Clerk, will you ring the bell? All members, please come to the floor. The hour for convening having arrived, all members will please come to the floor and take their seats. Morning. We're going to have the morning roll call. All members present will please vote green to signify their presence in the chamber. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machines? All members voted. Have all members voted? If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machines? Doorkeepers, will you please close the doors and keep them closed? Doorkeepers, will you please close the doors? Thank you, Chairman Werkheiser. We'll up your pay for today since you doorkeeper and representative. As is our custom, we will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by our chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain this morning is brought to us by the dean of this house, a gentleman from the 154th House District, Chairman Gerald Green. Chairman Green.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to introduce a pastor from Southwest Georgia. And thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your leadership in the school safety initiative for our students, our schools, and the state of Georgia. My constituents appreciate that. Colleagues, it is my pleasure to introduce Pastor Chris Guffey. He's not my every Sunday pastor, but he is praying for me, and he is praying for you as we do the business of the state. And before I tell you about Chris, I would like to introduce his lovely wife, Kelly, if you'll stand. A dear friend of mine, Dr. Garrett Bennett, and his lovely wife, Deanna. I'm covered in two ways today, the pastor here and Dr. Garrett, and so if any of you are feeling sick, let us know. This individual that is about to come and speak to you, I first learned about at a retired teachers meeting. He was speaking before I was, and he spoke, and I thought, that's the man I want the Georgia General Assembly to hear. And so we find that he was gracious enough to say, yeah, I'll come. And this individual has 3 children, Isaiah, Zariah, and, appropriate enough, Georgia. He's well educated. He has a Master's of Divinity from Theological Seminary. He works, he's worked in Missouri for 15 years as a pastor there. But now he is the senior pastor at the First Baptist Church in Blakely, Georgia. And I found that he is doing the Lord's work throughout not only our area, but throughout the world. I learned very quickly that he is a board member of Uttermost International, which provides K through 12 education for 1,600 students for free in India. He's really working to make sure that the gospel is spread. He is the author of Winding Road of Providence and currently working on another book, The People of Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, my new pastor, Chris Guffey.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Green, it is a privilege to address this honorable body. I was going to tell a joke, but I have learned, however, that since being invited on this privilege, that there are a lot of rules. I was told that I had to be here on time, which I failed, to dress properly, which I hope I succeeded in, and that I was not allowed to make any comments about politics, and nor was I allowed to make any jokes. That was my bride's rules, and then came the speaker's rules. The speaker's office informed me that I had to keep my remarks to approximately 5 minutes, that asking a Baptist preacher to do that is about like asking Auburn football to beat the mighty Georgia Bulldogs. It is not going to happen anytime soon, and the best we can do is hope to run out the clock. Right before I came up, Representative Prince came up and told me to ignore those rules and take as long as I wanted. I knew there had to be one righteous politician in Georgia. I'll do my best to abide by those rules, however, and so let me get to the task at hand. In the 250 years of our nation's history, there have been a number of seminal moments, moments that were so important that they required consequential leaders. Leaders of unparalleled character, skill, and ability. And as a nation, I think we would all agree from every political stripe that we have been blessed over these many years. The list of leaders is long, but perhaps the most influential and important is a man whose birthday we celebrate this month, the very first president of the United States, Mr. George Washington. He was born on February the 22nd, 1732, in the colony of Virginia. And so that means that this nation was always his home. At age 22, he literally started a world war as he was the commander of the Virginia forces in the French and Indian War. At the birth of the American Revolution in 1775, you know that he was tasked with the responsibility of leading a ragtag army of rebellion against the most powerful nation in the world. Named commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, his task was impossible. He had to take untrained, albeit passionate men into battle without the proper ammunition, supplies, or even the proper clothing. He marched them against the British Army, suffering both victories and defeats. And when troop morale reached its lowest moments, he was singularly responsible for doing whatever was necessary to maintain the fight. When independence was finally won, he would be given an even greater challenge. He was given the responsibility of bringing politicians together in harmony. He was named the president of the Constitutional Convention, and when it was time for a new nation to elect its first president, Washington was named the man for the job. In retrospect, we can barely fathom how daunting a task it must have been for him. He not only had to govern without much direction, but he was also setting precedent for our future leaders and presidents about how this new nation would be governed and led. In the history of Americans, he stands with great distinction. He was a leader of men, he was the general of an army, he was the president of a new nation, and he was the leader of a new and freer and more prosperous world. When we imagine him, we think of a larger-than-life figure. In fact, he was a man who was unafraid of anything, willing to take on any challenge, a warrior, a hero. In my life, he was the Chuck Norris of our politicians. As much as we know about his service to this nation, we also know that he was a man of great faith. He was raised Anglican. Washington became something of a Christian wonder in the years to come. In his lifetime, he would join a host of churches and denominations, including the Presbyterians, the Quakers, the Roman Catholic, the Congregationalists, even the Baptists for a season, and eventually the Dutch Reformed churches. Somewhere along the way in Mr. Washington's life, the gospel of Jesus Christ penetrated his heart. I want you to listen briefly to a short prayer that he wrote at the end of his life. He said, "O eternal and everlasting God, I presume to present myself this morning before thy divine majesty, beseeching thee to accept of my humble and hearty thanks that it hath pleased thy great goodness to keep and preserve me the night past from all the dangers poor mortals are subject to, and has given me sweet and pleasant sleep, whereby I find my body refreshed and comforted for performing the duties of this day, in which I would beseech thee to defend me from all the perils of body and soul. Increase my faith in the sweet promises of the gospel. Give me repentance from dead works. Pardon my wanderings. Direct my thoughts unto thyself, the God of my salvation. Teach me how to live in thy fear, to labor in thy service, and ever to run in the ways of thy commandments. Make me always watchful over my heart, that neither the terrors of conscience, the loathing of holy duties, the love of sin, nor an unwillingness to depart this life may cast me into a spiritual slumber, but daily frame me more and more into the likeness of thy Son, Jesus Christ, that living in thy fear and dying in thy favor, I may, in the appointed time, attain the resurrection of the just unto eternal life." And then he concluded, "Bless my family, my friends, and my kindred." In that prayer, General Washington, we find not a warrior, not a general, and not a hero. In that prayer, instead, we find a simple and humble man who loved his God, sought God's favor, and prayed for his nation, his family, and his friends. In Micah chapter 6 and verse 6, the prophet of old asked a question. He asked, "What should I bring before the Lord when I come to bow before God on high?" I think that is an important question. It's a question that I believe all of mankind must answer in their life. What is it that God requires of me? What does God want? Should I gain the great privilege of entering the presence of the Almighty God, whose person, nature, and majesty shudder the very foundations of the world itself? What would this divine demand of me? Luckily, God answered through the prophet. He writes in verse 8, "Mankind, he has told each of you what is good and what it is that the Lord requires of you, to act justly, to love faithfulness, and to walk humbly with your God." What would God ask of this deliberative body on February the 5th, 2025? He would ask of you what he asks of all men and women, that you love and seek faithfulness in Jesus Christ, that you act justly, and that you walk with humility before a holy God. That is my prayer for you this morning. Would you stand and bow your heads and join me in prayer? Good and sovereign God, maker of heaven and earth, Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, we come before you in this appointed hour to seek your help. By your grace, you have sustained us through life and adversity. You have seen it appropriate to place us in these hallowed halls and to legislate in this great state. Our decisions and our attitudes affect our homes, our families, our friends, and many that we do not know. Such a task is great and terrifying, and we are wholly unable to be faithful without your good guidance. And so therefore in this hour we come humbly before you and seek your good assistance. We ask for your Spirit to give us insight, your word to instruct our wisdom, and your precepts to be our guiding star. Lead us into a better future, a greater faith, and a more glorious hope. Protect our nation, our families, and our friends. These things we ask in the name of our blessed Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Would you remain standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, brother.
Doorkeepers, you may unlock the doors. Members, you can join Brother Chris in the South Ante room to thank him for his message today, and take a photo if you like with him. Brother Chris, thank you for the message. Hey, great history lesson as well too. Thanks for that on our first president, George Washington. What a wonderful man. Thank you.
The doctor of the day is from Representative Deborah Silcox's district, Dr. John Gleason. If anyone has any medical needs, he'll be down in the nurses' station. The chair recognizes Chairman Hilton. Please take your conversations to the back of the chamber or to the anteroom. Chairman Hilton, the Chairman of Information and Audits, will now give the report of the committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your Committee on Information and Audits has read the Journal of the previous day and found it to be correct.
Chairman Hilton, the Chair of Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the Journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to dispense with the reading of the Journal? The Chair hears none. The reading of the Journal is dispensed with. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the Journal? The Chair hears none, and the Journal is confirmed. The Clerk will read the resolution establishing the order of the business of the day.
Representative Administration, the 104th moves following be establishes the order of business during the first part of the period. Unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of House bills and resolutions. Second reading of bills and resolutions. Reports of standing committees. Morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of the business for the day? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 226 by Representative Mathis, the 133rd, a bill being titled an act to amend an act to provide a new charter for the city of Cochrane.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 227 by Representative Dickey, the 134th, Reeves, the 99th, Prince, the 132nd, Hagan, the 156th, Rhodes, the 124th. Bill be titled an act to amend various provisions of the official code of Georgia annotated so as to rename low THC oil.
Health.
House Bill 228 by Representative Horner of the 3rd, Ridley the 6th, Cannon of the 172nd, Ridley the 22nd, Cox of the 28th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 2 of Title 26 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to standards, labor, and adulteration of food.
Agriculture.
House Bill 229 by Representative Neal of the 79th, Douglas the 78th, Powell of the 33rd, Tarvin of the 2nd, Scoggins the 14th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 4883 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to exemptions from sales and use taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 230 by Representative Neal, the 79th, Washburn, the 144th, Seaball, the 34th, and Williams, the 148th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 231 by Representative Neal, the 79th, Iowa, the 50th, Cannon, the 58th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 24, Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to insurance generally.
Insurance.
House Bill 232 by Representative Silcox of the 53rd, Hawkins of the 27th, Powell of the 33rd. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 24A of Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to massage therapy practice.
Regulated Industries.
House Bill 233 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Deloach of the 167th, Staines of the 180th, Burchetta the 176th, Hagan of the 156th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 3, Chapter 3, Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to other state symbols.
Special Rules.
House Bill 234 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, LaHood of the 175th, Jokas of the 151st, Crow of the 118th, Hagan of the 156th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 235 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Powell of the 33rd, Jones of the 25th, Newton of the 27th, Hefner of the 130th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 1 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to general provisions relative to education.
Education.
House Bill 236 by Representative Scoggins of the 14th and Gamble of the 15th. Bill to be entitled an act to abolish the office of elected county surveyor.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 237 by Representative Carpenter of the 4th, Kelly the 16th, Bell of the 75th, Smith of the 18th, Frye the 122nd. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 4, Title 24 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to relevant evidence and its limits.
Judiciary Non-Civil.
House Bill 238 by Representative Lumsden of the 12th, Crow of the 118th, Hitchens of the 161st, Gunther of the 8th, and McDonald the 3rd of the 26th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 8 of Title 35 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to employment and training of police officers.
Public Safety.
House Bill 239 by Representative Corbett of the 174th, Seaball of the 34th, Crow of the 118th, Huddleston the 72nd, McDonald the 3rd of the 26th. The bill being titled an act to amend Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to motor vehicles and traffic.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 240 by Representative Williams, the 148th, Ridley the 6th, Rhodes the 124th, Douglas the 78th, Hilton of the 48th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 2 of Article 15 of Chapter 1 of Title 10 and Article 13 of Chapter 1 of Title 7 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to the Fair Business Practices Act.
Banks and Banking.
House Bill 241 by Representative Rhodes, the 124th, Williams, the 148th, Douglas, the 78th, Chastain, the 7th, Barrett, the 24th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 and Title 13 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to general provisions regarding contracts.
Banks and Banking.
House Bill 242 by Representative Silcox of the 53rd, Smith of the 18th, Reeves of the 99th, Campbell of the 171st, Panitch of the 51st. Bill being entitled an act to amend Code Section 1611 34.2 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to disorderly or disruptive conduct.
Judiciary, non-civil.
House Bill 243 by Representative Mitchell, the 88th, Oliver, the 84th, Moore, the 91st, Kendrick, the 95th, Holcomb, the 101st, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 4 of Article 6 of Chapter 3 of Title 12 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to Stone Mountain Memorial Association.
Governmental Affairs.
House Bill 244 by Representative Cannon, the 172nd, Year to the 152nd, Green in the 154th, Jackson in the 128th, and Hagan in the 156th. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 3681(7) of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to audit of financial affairs and transactions.
Governmental Affairs.
House Bill 245 by Representative O'Lallier, the 59th, Smith, the 18th, Glaze, the 67th, Howard of the 129th, Green of the 154th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 6 of Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 246 by Representative Gaines, the 120th, Crowe of the 118th, Green of the 154th, Irwin of the 32nd, Mathis, the 133rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 1516(1) and Chapter 8 of Title 35 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to qualifications requirement for sheriffs.
Public Safety.
House Bill 247 by Representative Paul of the 33rd, Crowe of the 118th, Jaspers of the 11th, Ridley the 6th, Corbett of the 174th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 4 of Chapter 5 of Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to the restoration of licenses.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 248 by Representative Jaspers of the 11th, Kelly the 16th, Powell of the 33rd, Williams the 148th, and Camp of the 135th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7, Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 249 by Representative Dickey the 134th, Anderson of the 10th, Huddleston the 72nd, Drenner the 85th, Campbell the 171st. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 3, Title 46 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to generation and distribution of electricity.
Natural Resources.
House Bill 250 by Representative Taylor, 173rd, Chokus, 151st, Jones, the 25th, Williams, the 148th, Martin of the 49th. Bill be titled an act to amend Titles 33 and 34 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to insurance and labor and industrial relations.
Small Business Development.
House Bill 251 by Representative McDonald III of the 26th, Hatchett of the 155th, Powell of the 33rd, Chokus the 151st, and Gunner the 8th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 26 of Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to nurses.
Regulated Industries.
House Bill 252 by Representative Smith the 70th and Bonham the 73rd. Bill be titled Act to provide a homestead exemption from city and Noonan ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 253 by Representative Clark, the 100th, Gaines, the 120th, Jones, the 25th, Evans, the 57th, Kelly, the 16th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 11 of Title 15 and Article 1 of Chapter 9 and Title 19 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to the Juvenile Code and general provisions relative to child custody.
Judiciary Juvenile.
House Bill 254 by Representative Buckner of the 137th, Green of the 154th, Hagan of the 156th, Camp of the 135th, Dempsey the 13th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 3, Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to the state flag.
State Properties.
House Bill 255 by Representative McLean of the 109th, Prince of the 132nd, Alexander the 66th, Taylor of the 92nd, Jackson of the 128th. Bill be titled Act to amend Code Section 4286 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to special license plates.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 256 by Representative Wiedauer of the 121st, Gullett of the 19th, Estration of the 104th, Clifton of the 131st, Hatchett of the 155th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 5 of Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to programs of protection for children.
Judiciary Juvenile.
House Bill 257 by Representative Williamson of the 112th, Blackman of the 146th, Kelly of the 16th, Prince of the 132nd, Hilton of the 48th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 2A, Chapter 2 of Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to registration and licensing of fleet vehicles.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 258 by Representative Buckner of the 137th, Holcomb of the 101st, Hughley the 141st, Mitchell the 88th, Bennett the 94th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 4, Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to public assistance.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 259 by Representative Sharper, the 177th, Powell, the 33rd, Lumsden, the 12th, Mitchell, the 88th, Stinson, the 150th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Title I of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions.
Special rules.
House Bill 260 by Representative Reeves, the 99th, Blackman, the 146th, Campbell, the 135th, Donatucci, the 105th, Silcox, the 53rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 1 of Article 2, Chapter 5 of Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to property tax exemptions.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 261 by Representative Fry, the 122nd, Campbell, the 35th, Draper, the 90th, Sanchez, the 42nd, Roman of the 97th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 2, Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to registering and licensing of motor vehicles.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 262 by Representative Osteen of the 169th, Burchett of the 176th, Campbell of the 171st, Corbett of the 174th, and LaHood of the 175th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 2, Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Department of Community Health.
Rural Development.
House Bill 263 by Representative Bennett of the 94th, Buckner of the 137th, McQueen of the 61st, Hughley of the 141st, Cannon of the 58th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 7, Chapter 4, Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to medical assistance generally.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 264 by Representative Ridley the 2nd, Ridley the 6th, Horner the 3rd, Powell of the 33rd, Tarvin of the 2nd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 265 by Representative Saints of the 180th, Cooper the 45th, Stevens 164th, and Townsend the 179th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 23 of Title 2 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated the Georgia Hemp Farming Act.
Agriculture.
House Bill 266 by Representative Saints of the 180th, Bonner of the 73rd, Clark of the 100th, Gaines of the 120th, Petrie of the 166th. The bill be titled act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7, Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to imposition rate computation exemptions and credits for state income tax.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 267 by Representative Bonner of the 73rd, Jones of the 47th, Wade of the 9th, Earhart of the 36th, Donatucci the 105th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend various titles of the Official Code of Georgia annotated so to provide for separate restrooms.
Education.
House Bill 268 by Representative Persinger of the 119th, F. Stration of the 104th, Gaines of the 120th, Burns the 159th, Irwin of the 32nd, and others. A bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 2, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to elementary and secondary education.
Education.
House Bill 269 by Representative Townsend, the 179th, Mathiak of the 82nd, Stevens, the 164th, Yurt of the 152nd, Cameron of the 1st, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to early care and learning.
Education.
House Bill 270 by Representative Reeves of the 99th, Leverett of the 123rd, Camp of the 135th, Silcox of the 53rd, Jenkins of the 136th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 7, Chapter 10 of Title 9 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to continuances.
Judiciary.
House Resolution 145 by Representative Irwin of the 32nd, Dubnik of the 29th, Jokas of the 151st, Wade of the 9th, Barton of the 5th, and others. A resolution urging the Department of Education and the Department of Public Health to collaborate.
Education.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 217 by Representative Hong of the 103rd, Martin of the 49th, Irwin of the 32nd, Wade of the 9th, and Ballard of the 147th, a bill relating to the Dual Achievement Program. House Bill 218 by Representative Dempsey of the 13th, Hawkins of the 27th, Cooper of the 45th, Renner of the 85th, Taylor of the 173rd, a bill relating to vaccinations for influenza and pneumococcal disease for certain discharged patients. House Bill 219 by Representative Stevens of the 164th, Davis of the 87th, Clark of the 100th, a bill relating to professions and businesses. House Bill 220 by Representative Montana of the 17th, Carpenter of the 4th, Gunter of the 8th, and New of the 40th, a bill relating to kinds of insurance, limits of risk, and reinsurance. House Bill 221 by Representative Cannon of the 58th, Renner of the 85th, Park of the 107th, Clark of the 108th, Barnes of the 86th, a bill relating to education. House Bill 222 by Representative Blackman of the 146th, Williams of the 148th, Ballard of the 147th, Jones of the 143rd, Illustration of the 104th, a bill relating to bonds and recognizances in criminal proceedings. House Bill 223 by Representative Burchett of the 176th, Abstention of the 104th, McDonald of the 26th, Hong of the 103rd, Gamble of the 15th, and others. A bill relating to revenue and taxation. House Bill 224 by Representative Bonner of the 73rd, Blackman of the 146th, Hitchens of the 161st, Smith of the 138th, Sains of the 180th, and others. A bill relating to general provisions relative to highways, bridges, and ferries. House Bill 225 by Representative Washburn of the 144th, Stevens of the 164th, Lumsden of the 12th, Yurta of the 152nd, McLean of the 109th, and others. A bill relating to speed detection devices. House Resolution 128 by Representative Dempsey of the 13th, Barton of the 5th, Lumsden of the 12th, a resolution compensating Mr. Joseph Samuel Watkins. House Resolution 129 by Representative Dempsey of the 13th, Barton of the 5th, Lumsden of the 12th, a resolution compensating Mr. Darrell Lee Clark. House Resolution 130 by Representative Crawford of the 89th, a resolution compensating Mr. Cedric Moore. House Resolution 131 by Representative Park of the 107th, Jackson of the 128th, Griffin of the 149th, Clark of the 108th, Herring of the 145th, and others. A resolution expressing support for the creation of a national infrastructure bank. House Resolution 132 by Representative Montana of the 17th, Horner of the 3rd, Ridley of the 6th, Cameron of the 1st, and Chastain of the 7th. A resolution creating the joint Georgia, North Carolina, and Georgia-Tennessee Boundary Line Commission. Senate Bill 16 by Senator Brass of the 6th, a bill relating to miscellaneous offenses concerning public officers and employees. Senate Resolution 7 by Senator Dolezal of the 27th, a resolution dedicating certain portions of the state highway system. Through second readers.
Reports of standing committees, the clerk will read.
Representative Hatchett of the 155th District, Chairman of the Committee on Appropriations, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Appropriations has had under its consideration the following bill of the House, and has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendation. House Bill 67 do pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Hatchett of the 155th District, Chairman. Representative Beth Camp of the 135th District, Chairman on Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Local, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Locals had under its consideration the following bills of the House. It has instructed me to report same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 5 do pass. House Bill 6 do pass by substitute. House Bill 13 do pass. House Bill 32 do pass. House Bill 33 do pass. House Bill 39 do pass. House Bill 160 do pass. House Bill 174 do pass. House Bill 228 do pass. House Bill 29 do pass. House Bill 103 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Beth Camp of the 135th District, Chairman. That completes the reading of the reports of standing committees.
Third reading and passage of uncontested local bills. 3 bills on the local calendar relate to homestead exemption and require a recorded 2/3 roll call vote for passage. Third reading and passage of uncontested local bills. If there's no objection, we will vote on the local calendar as a whole with a recorded vote. Hearing none, it is so ordered. The clerk will read the local calendar.
House Bill 5 by Representative Joe Campbell, 171st, Decatur County. House Bill 6 by substitute by Representative Joe Campbell, 171st, Mitchell County. House Bill 13 by Representative John Corbett of the 174th, Eccles County. House Bill 32 by Representative Charles Cannon of the 172nd, Cook County. House Bill 33 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd, Cook County. House Bill 39 by Representative Anderson of the 10th, Habersham County. House Bill 160 by Representative Smith of the 18th, Carroll County. House Bill 174 by Representative Ballard of the 147th, City of Centerville. House Bill 28 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd, Colquitt County. House Bill 29 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd, Colquitt County. House Bill 103 by Representative Smith of the 138th, Troup County.
The chair asks the clerk to ring the bell to alert members that we need a 2/3 vote on the local calendar because of 3 bills that are homestead exemptions. The clerk will ring. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered on the local calendar? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bills? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall these bills now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bills on the local calendar, including homestead exemptions, will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of the bills, the yeas were 160, the nays were 1. The bills, having received the requisite constitutional majority, are therefore passed. We're moving on to morning orders. The chair is being somewhat lenient because we have more than 15 requests for morning orders. We'll limit them. If you'll limit your remarks to 1 minute, we will still exceed the limit. So 1 minute or less. The chair, please come to the front if you have a morning order so that I can see you and call on you. Chair recognizes Representative Santos for a morning order.
Thank you, esteemed Madam Speaker of the House, members of the General Assembly, and all of Georgia. Today, me and my colleagues stand with the survivors of domestic violence. We will be giving a resolution to the Henry County District Attorney's Victim Services Unit, Haven House, and the Henry County Office of the Solicitor General Victim Unit. If you are here, please stand. Whereas the Henry County District Attorney's Victim Services Unit is dedicated to providing a compassionate and comprehensive support to victims of felony crime. Whereas the Henry County Office of the Solicitor General is responsible for prosecuting misdemeanor crimes on behalf of the state of Georgia and the citizens of Henry County. Whereas the Haven House provides a shelter to survivors. Thank you all for being here today. We appreciate your contributions to the state of Georgia, and we thank you for everything that you have done and will continue to do. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Campbell for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have a group of students from Southwest Georgia up here today, and they're from all over Southwest Georgia, so they made a long trip to get up here. We appreciate them coming. They represent a group called FCCLA, which is Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. And would y'all please stand? They're in the... If y'all will give them a good welcome. Thank y'all for making the trip.
Please take your conversations to the anteroom. We have a number of people being recognized today from different members' districts. The chair recognizes Representative Lumpton for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The district I serve, District 83, has a healthy portion of Buford Highway running through it, and there are many different wonderfully culturally enriching programs that exist along that highway, but I want to single one out in particular today. In April of 2021, Miss Juana Alzaga founded the Buford Highway Orchestra program with only 10 students. Miss Alzaga is a violinist and a teacher whose career has taken her from Miami to Gwinnett County. She has served as conductor of the Metropolitan Youth Symphony Orchestra and the Gwinnett County Festival Orchestra, among many other programs. She has now brought her prodigious talents to the students of Buford Highway, and the orchestra program that she founded now serves 55 young musicians from 19 different DeKalb County schools. This orchestra program gives these wonderful young musicians a wonderful place to learn. It's an after-school and weekend enrichment program that fosters parent involvement and that fosters community-wide engagement. This orchestra program operates under the auspices of We Love Buford Highway, and Miss Lily Pabian, who is their executive director, is also here to support Miss Juana as we honor her today. So if Miss Juana Alzaga can stand, and Lily Pabian, thank you for your work. Thank you for what you do. Madam Speaker, I yield the will.
Chair recognizes Chairman Hawkins for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I would like to recognize the Center for Rural Health Day here at the Capitol. I'm not sure if they made it in the door, but I don't see any of them. I don't think I see any of them up there. We've got a full house upstairs. But, you know, rural health has been one of our targets for many, many years. This group is comprised of CEOs and leaders of the rural hospitals and some of the largest employees in those communities, providing an economic stability. If you are here, would you please stand and be recognized? Oh, good, you got in. Great. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Chair recognizes Representative Glaze from morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today we stand and rise to commend Creekside High School Career and Technical Student Organization that is with us today, visiting this great capital. This organization continues to grow in their endeavors for career, technical, and agricultural education programs. They continue to design and have instructional objectives to move forward in the marketplace in careers with technology, communication, and they are being equipped to be the next successful generation in Georgia. Creekside High, please stand. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield the will.
Chair recognizes Representative Au and Newton for morning order.
Sure. Hey, thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Just want to, you'll notice today a lot of white coats out there. There are over 250 physicians and physicians in training from across Georgia that are visiting today. I was with 75 of those students at from multiple campuses in various stages of medical school last night. They did ask me to tell you thank you for the work you're doing, where we've expanded medical training in Georgia. We've got the preceptors to get them on the ground training, and just wanted to say thank you to all y'all for making it a wonderful place. Medical Association of Georgia, we got some members up in the gallery. We welcome you and thank you for being here. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representatives Gamble, Burchett, and Osteen for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You've already heard a couple CTSOs recognized from individual schools, but the reason they're here today is because it's National Career and Technical Education Month, and today is CTSO Day at the Capitol, Career and Technical Student Organization, and that comprises Georgia CTI, Georgia DECA, Georgia Engage, Georgia FBLA, Georgia FCCLA, Georgia FFA, First Robotics, Georgia HOSA, Georgia Skills USA, and Georgia TSA. And so if y'all are in the gallery and you're in a CTSO or you're a CTAE teacher, would you please stand so that we can recognize you at this time?
We've got some in the hallway.
Yeah. And then I also know that we have our school counselors here. It's National School Counseling Week, and would our school counselors stand and be recognized at this time as well? Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Chair recognizes Representative Martin for a morning order.
Madam Chair, members of the House, I wanted to rise today and recognize some very important folks from North Fulton, Greater North Fulton County. I don't know if they're over here or in the Senate, but if you're here with the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce and Executive Director Callie Boatwright, stand. Otherwise, just welcome to the House, welcome to the Capitol, and thank you for all you do. Join me in welcoming the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. I yield.
Chair recognizes Representative Mathis for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to piggyback on Floor Leader Campbell's CTSO announcement, and I'd like for our group from Blakely County, if y'all will stand up over here in my hometown of Cochran, I'd like to thank you. If y'all will give them a big hand. Thank you so much. Glad you're here.
Chair recognizes Representative Rice for a morning order.
Thank you, Speaker Pro Tem Jones. Today I want to recognize on CTSO Day, we have a couple of teachers. We have Mr. Robertson, Miss Robinson, who oversees our nursing program at Jordan Vocational High School. And we have Mr. Anderson, retired military, who is doing the cybersecurity program. And if you'll stand to be recognized from Muskogee County. Thank you. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Park Cannon and others for a morning order.
Thank you.
Bill.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Gracias, Madam Speaker. Gracias a LCF y a Galeo por organizar el Día Latino en el Capitolio. Tenemos dos miembros de la Junta Directiva, Omar y Pedro, si están aquí, if you can stand up. We are here to celebrate the Latino culture. We want to talk about the work ethic of Latinos. We know that our state is connected to the work of Latinos, and we are strengthened by the work that you do. Queremos decir gracias a todo. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Leader Hughley for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have some students from Jordan High School, Hardaway High School, Kendrick High School, and they're all here with HOSA, FBLA, DECA Skills USA, And their teachers are Terry Anderson, Alexis Jameson, Camilla Robinson, Angela Layton, Lynn Robinson, Ja'Cory Daniel, Mr. Freddie Blackman, and Priscilla Mudge. So all of you guys from the great city of Columbus, thank you for coming, and thank you, teachers, for the work that you're doing with our fine students. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Chokas for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is a great honor for me to recognize the senior class from Webster County High School. They are accompanied by Superintendent Dr. Dorothy Ingram, Katha Scott, who's a history teacher, and James McCullough, assistant principal. Hey guys, stand up so we can recognize. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
We have a few more morning orders recognizing people of importance back home. If you'll give the speaker your attention, the chair recognizes Representative Mathiak for a morning order.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, and thank you. Today, I would like to welcome our certified midwives. Today is their day here at the Capitol. I don't know if they made it into the gallery. Yes, they are. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate all you do in midwifery. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Todd Jones for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I rise to recognize National Girl and Women's Day in Sports. I want to absolutely recognize those who came before us, who made sure that all of our girls and all of the women and all of our females had an opportunity to participate in sports, knowing that it drives greater accountability, greater discipline, and basically giving them a greater opportunity in life to be able to make it to where they want to get, may it be in the job world. And we want to make sure that we keep the sanctity of women's sports, because as my daughter has shown us, as a two-time 7A high school state champ, she never makes it to that state championship if she had to compete against anyone other than someone born a female. And we know that that's important because we want to give that opportunity to females and give, just like my daughter, the opportunity to get a Division I scholarship. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representatives Donatucci and Martinez for a morning order, and Leader F. Strachan recognizing people back home.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, today we welcome Hebron Christian football team as well as their coaches. The Hebron Christian Academy football team electrified the fans by defeating a two-time defending champion Prince Avenue with a stunning score of 56-28. With a victory they claimed, and they played in the iconic Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They are here today with their coaches along with head coach guests. If you all would just wave, stand and wave so that we can recognize you. Stand up, please. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations.
Another recognition of constituents back home by Chairman Blackman, Ballard, Williams, and Jones.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, anybody else? There you are. All right, thank you, Madam Speaker. Fellow members, please join us in welcoming Ms. Shelton's AP Government class to the People's House. If you're here, would y'all please stand and let us welcome you? There you are. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Last but not least, we have Representative Chastain recognizing constituents from back home.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, everyone. I want to recognize our team from the Blue Ridge Medical Center that's here with us today. They're doing a great job up in North Georgia, representing our Tri-County area at Blue Ridge Medical. We have our CEO, Gary Proquette, our CNO, Evelyn Hammond, our COO, Melissa Eaton, and Mr. Ed Henry, who's with senior leadership with the holding company, and also don't hold it against him. He's a former representative from the great state of Alabama, so good to have y'all with us. Yes, thank you. Welcome.
The clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions.
Honoring the life and memory of Jonathan Threadcraft. Honoring the life and memory of Richard Alarun Rokan Adukola, King Rohan. Honoring the life and memory of Antonio Cornelius Baker. Commending the Professional Association of Georgia Educators on its 50th anniversary, recognizing February 10th, 2025 as Georgia Hearing Day at the state capitol, commending and congratulating retired Master Sergeant Louis C. Graziano, recognizing the Macon Violence Prevention Program for its impactful efforts in reducing violent crime, recognizing February 5th, 2025 as Latino Day at the state capitol, congratulating the Grayson High School football team for winning the 2024 state football championship, recognizing and commending Elisa Anderson, recognizing and commending the Urban League of Greater Atlanta Young Professionals and the Urban League of the River Valley Young Professionals, recognizing and commending Reverend Corey J. Neal on the occasion of his 17th pastoral anniversary, and recognizing and commending the NAACP National Office, and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? The chair hears none and the resolutions are adopted. Moving on to afternoon orders. If you have signed up for an afternoon order, please come to the front so the chair can recognize you. Chair recognizes Representative New for an afternoon order.
And friends, thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Good morning. We have some special guests here in the House today. Today is Stand with Survivors Day at the Capitol. We have Shepherd's Rest Ministries from Paulding County in the House. Larry and Marie Manley, Candace Buckner, Doug Shaw, Dave Roberts, along with their fearless leader, Dr. Catherine Melton. If you're in the gallery, please stand. I think they might have gone to the Senate side. Shepherd's Rest Ministries is a crisis center dedicated to addressing family violence. Since it opened in 1997, this safe and private facility has met the basic needs of residents, offering food, clothing, personal care items, and other emergency assistance for the families. They have provided shelter for over 5,000 women and children in our community. Please join me in expressing our gratitude for their unwavering service to Georgia and welcome them to the People's House. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Flanoy for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm honored today to give the Black History Moment, and today's Black History Moment will spotlight Charles W. Chappell, an architect, engineer, and a native of our great state. Charles Ward Chappell was born in Eatonton in 1872 to African Methodist Episcopal Reverend George W. Chappell and Anna Johnson Chappell. He attended Knox Institute, a private elementary and secondary school in Athens, and Morris Brown College right here in Atlanta, where he trained as an electrical engineer and architect. In 1897, Chappell moved to Pittsburgh to work for U.S. Steel as an electrician. By 1910, he had moved to Brooklyn and worked as an architect. In January 1911, Chappelle was the only African American to participate in the first industrial aeroplane show in New York. The week-long event highlighted innovation in aeronautics and full-size aircraft for an audience of more than 15,000 people. Less than a decade after the Wright brothers had shown that powered, sustained, and controlled airplane flight was possible, Chappelle debuted an aircraft of his very own design. The plane, which took Chappelle a year to build, was supposed to be able to travel long distances safely. Chappelle's aircraft was awarded for its design and capabilities and was displayed at the United States Aeronautical Reserve headquarters in Manhattan. Following his success at the air show, Chappelle helped to establish the first black-owned airplane company, serving as the company's vice president for a time. And afterward, in 1913, Chappelle set up the African American Union Company, a profitable Ghana-based company specializing in the global export of African resources such as mahogany and cocoa. Chappelle headed the company until its closure in 1930, and he died in 1941. This has been your Black History Moment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Please stand for recognition. Members will please stand. Chair recognizes Representative Bonner for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today joined by the Fayetteville delegation to pay tribute to two of our mayors of my hometown, Fayetteville, that recently passed. Mayor Ken Steele, on the left, passed away in December. He was a Vietnam veteran, Navy pilot, flew for Delta, served as our mayor from 2000 to 2011. He and I attended New Hope Baptist Church together. He leaves behind a wife and 3 children. And then on the right is Greg Clifton, who just passed in January, who served 1 term as our mayor. And I spent time with Greg in a men's Bible study for the last 7 years. Both of these men did great things for our state and did great things for our community back home in Fayetteville, and I appreciate you paying honor to them today. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Carter for an afternoon order.
Good morning, and thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, we're here tomorrow, Thursday, February the 6th. We're asking everyone to wear red. It is our Go Red Day at the Georgia State Capitol. When you arrive, you will have your red pens on your desk. And on Friday, we're inviting everyone to join us for lunch for the National Go Red Day here at the Capitol from 12 to 2. But I want to leave you with something. As we've talked often, women can reduce their risk of cardiovascular disease by making lifestyle changes, getting regular checkups, and being aware of the symptoms of a heart attack. Were just a few of the lifestyle changes we all could participate in. Exercise, 30 minutes a day, and we have a gym on the 6th floor in CLOB. Y'all may not have known that. Eat healthy. So eat more fruits and vegetables and a little less protein and cut out those carbs. Maintain a healthy weight. Lord knows I need to. If you smoke, quit. Manage your stress. So we may need to add some meditation in our morning orders when it gets closer to the end of the session. What y'all think? And get sleep, guys. We need to make sure that we get enough sleep. So make sure you do your annual checkups. If you haven't gone in the last 6 to 12 months, please get that done. Check your blood pressure regularly. You can go downstairs, your cholesterol. And one of the most recent studies have shown that not just our cholesterol, but we need to be monitoring our LDL. That is one of the numbers that I know in the last few years that the physicians have been looking at. There's some new medication that can help manage that, but it is an indicator that you are pre-exposed to potentially cardiovascular disease that we haven't really looked at over the last few years. So thank you. Tomorrow we're red, okay? I will yield the well.
Chair recognizes Chairman Hatchett for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, on your desk, HB 67, the amended FY25 budget. I'm around for any questions all day. The subcommittee chairmen are around. The budget office will be glad to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
That concludes our afternoon orders. We'll conclude with announcements. If you have an announcement, please come to the front and be ready. The chair recognizes Chairman Corbett for an announcement. Yeah, whoever you want.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Rural Caucus will be meeting at 12 o'clock over in the Ag Building. Low Country Barbecue is providing the meal today, barbecue and all the sides. So y'all come join us. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman LaHood and Representative Sharper. And Whip Burchett for an afternoon announcement.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for letting us take a minute to welcome the Georgia Senior Living Association today. And stay up here with me, Corbett. And they've got box lunches for you in room 230, not to compete with Rural Caucus lunch, but please see them while you're here in room 230 right upon adjournment. And also Lowndes County, the Lowndes County Bird Supper tonight. Corbett and I's shoulders are sore from shooting quail this weekend, so y'all can eat good tonight, fried quail over here at the depot. Please join us 5 o'clock. South Georgia's coming to Atlanta, and it'll be a good time. Thank y'all.
Chair recognizes Chairman Scoggins for announcement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Special rules will meet at 1 o'clock at 4:15. Thank you very much.
Chairman Werkheiser for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The House Industry and Labor will meet this afternoon at 3 o'clock at CLOB 506. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Kahan for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On your desks, you have an invitation from me to attend Harps Crossing Baptist Church in Fayetteville. That's going to be on February the 15th from 10 to 3. I like to tell people for my faith, I sit at the feet of Jesus. And for my constitutional training, I sit at the feet of our founders and constitutional expert and educator, Chris Ann Hall. So you will greatly benefit from her presentation. You just have to RSVP so I can make sure you have enough, we have enough lunches. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Mathiak for an announcement.
Thank you again, Madam Speaker. State Planning and Community Affairs will meet today at 3 o'clock, 4:15 CLOB. Thanks.
Chair recognizes Chairman Lumsden for an announcement.
There will be a meeting of the Full House Insurance Committee in the morning, 8 a.m., CLOB 406. Full House Insurance Committee meeting, CLOB 406 at 8 a.m. We have a few bills to deal with. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Green for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. State properties will meet in the morning at 8 a.m. in the Capitol, room 403. And we will adopt our rules and at the same time take up the easements and compensation resolutions. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Noel Williams for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today at 1 o'clock in 406 CLOB, we'll have the Banks and Banking Committee meeting. 1 o'clock, 406 CLOB. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Anderson for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Governmental Affairs Committee will meet at 3 p.m. today in CLOB 606. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Petrie for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today at 2 o'clock in 415 CLOB, the Human Relations and Aging Committee will be meeting. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Crow for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee will meet today at 1 o'clock in 506 CLOB. 1 o'clock, 506 CLOB, Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Ballinger for an announcement.
Thank you. Your Judiciary Juvenile Committee will be meeting today at 1 o'clock. We have a couple of exciting presentations, and we need to also present the committee rules. Thank you very much.
And that concludes our business. If you have a page, please locate your page and meet them at up at the dais for a picture. The chair recognizes the majority leader for a motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that this House stand adjourned until 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, February 6th, 2025.
On the motion of the majority leader, this House stands adjourned until 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, February 6, 2025. All those in favor will say aye. All those opposed will say no. And the ayes clearly have it, and this House is adjourned.